Good morning, everybody, and thank you all very much for joining us. Today is a historic day for our city and for dedicated public servants of Louisville Fire. We're here to make two announcements and celebrate this day, which is a milestone in the careers of two incredibly dedicated and distinguished public servants in our city. The first is our Fire Chief, Greg Frederick. Chief Frederick started his fire service career as a volunteer firefighter when he was just 16 years old in 1978. He did so well in that volunteer position that he was hired by the Louisville Division of Fire in 1984 and quickly rose through the ranks. From firefighter to fire apparatus operator, fire company commander, fire district chief, and then on July 14th, 1999, at the age of 36, Chief Frederick was appointed fire chief, and he has served with honor in that job ever since. In the 24 years since then, Chief Frederick has overseen the implementation of new technologies and equipment and programs in the Louisville Fire Department. He has played a key role in the modernization of our department, which is the third oldest fully paid fire department in our entire country. Under Chief Frederick's leadership, the department has added and upgraded its fire stations and equipment, welcomed more female firefighters, and found new ways to harness technology to better serve the people of Louisville. Louisville Fire has also twice earned prestigious recognition from the Commission on Fire Accreditation International, a tremendous honor that most departments never even earn once. Louisville Fire has also earned True Class 1 designation from ISO, the Insurance Services Office, which is another high honor that speaks to the level of professionalism of this Louisville Fire team under the leadership of Chief Frederick. I'm sharing this retrospective today because Chief has recently is going to be retiring from the Louisville Fire Department effective August 1st. I respect his decision and am incredibly grateful to Chief Frederick for him, his service, his dedication, his example, and so much more that he has given our city across his entire public service career. So without further ado, let's give a round of applause and a giant thanks to our fire chief, Chief Frederick. Thank you so much.
Good morning. As you know, after 39 years in the Louisville Fire Department, 24 as chief, I'm retiring. It has been the greatest career I could have ever imagined, and I'm proud to be a part of this department and its rich history. I will depart as the longest serving chief in the LFD history, as well as the longest serving Metropolitan Fire Chief in the United States. In July of 1999, Mayor Dave Armstrong appointed me to be the chief of the department. I'm the 20th chief since the LFD became a fully paid department in 1858. I'm grateful to the mayors that I've served under for their support and for their confidence in me to lead this department. I also want to thank the former Board of Aldermen and the Metro Council for their support over the years. Leadership is challenging. It's about doing the right things and doing things right. It's about honor, courage, and dedication to service. Great leaders lead during the tough times, not just when things are going well. I haven't been perfect, but I always did what I thought and felt was right for the men and women of the LFD and the LFD itself. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve this city as its fire chief, I will always cherish the experiences, but most of all, the people in this department that work hard every day to make us a great organization. Thank you for letting me be a part of something bigger than all of us. I've given a lot, I've sacrificed a lot, and now it's time for me to see what the next chapter brings. So to the department, I want to say good luck in the future, and farewell and Godspeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. I know along with the men and women of Louisville Fire Department, between now and August 1st, we look forward to continuing to celebrate your contributions to this department, to our city, and to have ample celebrations to thank you and your family and all of your teams over the past 40 years of service to our community. Thank you so much. Your legacy in this department and your legacy in the city will last for generations. Being a firefighter is an incredibly honor calling. My grandfather served as a firefighter in New York City. I was brought up hearing stories of his and his colleagues' heroism. And ever since I've been a young boy, have held the most tremendous respect for everyone who serves their city by becoming a firefighter. And I've seen firsthand as mayor what I always heard my grandfather talking about. I've seen it firsthand, how firefighters save lives and often risk their own lives to do it. The more than 500 highly trained men and women of this department responded to nearly 5,000 incidents last year and every year. That includes structure fires along with a variety of other calls for assistance, including medical emergencies, including traumas, including horrific incidents of gun violence that we've seen far too often in our city. Firefighters respond. This department has a specialized team for hazardous materials, water rescues, high angle, trench, confined space, and building collapse rescues. Following in the footsteps of Chief Frederick to lead this department is a tremendous honor and also a tremendous responsibility. And as Deputy Mayor David James and I began to talk with potential candidates to succeed Chief Frederick, it became clear that we have a leader already within Louisville Fire Department who's ready to take that on and lead this department into the future. And that individual is Brian O'Neill. Brian is a battalion chief with the Louisville Fire Department right now. He's been with Louisville Fire since 2001. He has a great relationship with his fellow firefighters and knows the work of the department inside and out. Brian knows what it takes to be an effective firefighter and to be an effective leader. He is committed and dedicated to being a firefighter, to this department, and to our city. He is passionate about public service. Brian brings a variety of well-rounded experiences and perspective to this role, even outside of being a fire department. Brian is known throughout the department and with his colleagues and friends for being an ultra marathoner, which is an incredibly difficult pursuit. And you always do that with a smile on your face, which even for a runner like me, I don't understand. Brian is currently also the president of Professional Firefighters Local 54. And while serving as a Louisville firefighter, Brian earned a bachelor's degree in history from the University of Louisville and graduated cum laude. He also spent 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. Brian, thank you for your service to our country and to our city. And we are all so fortunate here in Louisville that that service will continue as Brian will lead the Louisville Fire Department forward as our next chief. So Brian, welcome, and we are so excited for your leadership beginning August 1st.
Well, thank you so much for that. I am so honored and thankful for the trust that Mayor Greenberg and Deputy Mayor James have put upon me to take on this responsibility. I'm excited to get to the work. It's humbling and it's honoring to know that I'm going to be joining this long line of illustrious chiefs going back to 1858, to the early days of Chief Johnson and Levi and Paul, to the modern days of Chief Bonifant, Sanders, and my boss, my chief, my friend, Ziggy, Chief Gregory Frederick. Chief Frederick, take a look at this beautiful apparatus behind us. When Chief Frederick took over, we still rode an open cab apparatus that had little thought to the safety and certainly not to the comfort of the occupants. And now we are in these modern technical marvels thanks to his leadership. He has led us through tough times and through good times, and all of us in this city, in this department, in this community, we owe him a great debt of gratitude, and we thank him. I'm reminded of the words that I heard over 30 years ago when I graduated at Parris Island, South Carolina, and earned the title of Marine. And worked so hard with my fellow recruits, so long and so hard, blood, sweat, and tears to earn that title, and it meant so much to us, and we were rightfully proud. But the commanding general told us that day, what you have truly earned is the right to work harder and to make sure that you earn it every day. So I say to the mayor, to the community, to the people of the department, I promise that I will work hard every day to continue to earn this. To the men and women of the Louisville Fire Department, I will do the best job that I can, and I expect you to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As you can tell, our city has been fortunate to have outstanding leadership in Chief Frederick, and we are fortunate to have more outstanding leadership like our next chief, Brian O'Neill, along with other men and women of the Louisville Fire Department that are serving us every day and doing amazing work, amazing public service to keep our city safe, to keep us safe. I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you who is proud to call you a colleague here at Metro Government. Thank you all for your service, and I'm excited about the next chapter for Louisville Fire. And with that, Chief Frederick, Brian, myself, we are happy to take any questions if there are any. Well, I think that is just one of Brian's many examples of leadership. He has had many leadership roles throughout his career inside the fire department and other walks of life, as we just talked about. But knowing that he has the respect and support of folks throughout that are already part of Louisville Fire Department is very helpful. He knows people personally. He knows the strengths of this department. He knows where there are opportunities for continued improvement. And he is very committed. That we have had many conversations about the commitment to support the men and women who are in Louisville Fire Department and to continue to recruit more great people to join this team.
We know that the chief had experience helping the last couple of years, one on Whiskey Road. We know that you have some experience that too, you were 21 feet. So we talk about that historic fire, how you that,
Sure.
Talking about the Whiskey Row fire, and the thing about that fire, it progressed really very rapidly, and it was literally a square city block. So when you have fires of that magnitude, one of the things you have to have is great leadership in all positions. And I had assistant chiefs on every side of the building. We work well together. We have a great level of trust. And we all basically just had our own side of it to take care of. I personally was on Washington Street, helping direct operations there. But when you get, fires of that magnitude, the key to it is having available resources that can respond quickly. I think we went to 4 alarms that day. We had a lot of people called back in from some of our bureaus that support the firefighting operation. But, whenever you have a fire of that magnitude, that's what it takes. It's a lot of good cooperation and people making good decisions. The other challenge that fire posed was when they said, we got to preserve the facades. That was probably the biggest challenge in that fire. So, and I'm glad they're still here today, and that area has developed into one of the city's treasures. So I'm very proud of that. Wow, there's I'd say a lot. There's a lot, but I like, years ago when I came in, you received your fire gear, your coat and boots and all that, and then you got a clothing allowance and you had to maintain it yourself. And over the years, it just didn't seem to be a good model for our people. So with the help of Paul Roughton, who was the president of the union at that time, we went to the Board of Aldermen and basically said, let's change the model. So now, today, we have 2 sets of gear for every member. We have laundry machines in every station that can keep them clean, because it's huge now with cancer prevention and all that. But I feel like the equipment, from the personal protective gear they wear all the way up to having the safest fire trucks that are built in America, I think I take a lot of pride in that. So thank you. Come on.
Yes, sir. So, okay, when you look at immediate needs, here's the very fortunate is due to the past leadership and due to the position that we're in, we are not an agency in crisis. We're doing very well. But when we look at priorities going to the future, a big one that we see is recruiting and retention. Just in my 22 years, and certainly not to speak of the Chief's 39, we went from a time where the fire department never really had to recruit because we had thousands of people applying every year, and that's just not happening. And we need to do better on recruitment, and we're also start to see retention issues. I know that all of you in the media are very familiar, that you hear about it from the police department, our brothers and sisters also in public safety over there. We're not quite as in dire straits as they are, but we're seeing the warning signs. We're seeing people that used to be nobody left this job. You got hired on and you'd leave after 25 years. That was it. But we're starting to see people move to other areas, so we want to make sure that we work specifically on recruiting outstanding people and keeping them here. Sometimes it's just other jobs. We're seeing a much more educated and a much more professionally trained group of people that have maybe some other options that they want to exercise. And the fact is, this is a very tough job. This is a very difficult job. Mental health is another priority that we have to work on. You have to think about, we only see people when they're having the worst day of their life, when they are in such desperate straits that they need to call for help for someone else to come and handle their emergency. And that's what we do day in and day out. It's very taxing. And some people decide that that's not for them. So we need to do better about taking care of the mental health of our people. Are they being paid enough? They are paid well, but they could always use more. Thank you. Well, it was really to piggyback on his initial question about the background with the labor, as well as my background from the military, and certainly the 22 years here with this department. Chief and I have worked together very closely for years, as with me as the union president, him as the chief. But the way that we've always approached that labor management relationship is not one as adversarial. We've always looked at it, actually the chief said, we're kind of like divorced parents. We both want to do what's best for the family, but we might have a slightly different approach. And I've always said that we're kind of different cogs in the same machine. So I think that I bring that other approach as I switch over to the management side to make sure that we are doing, of course, very first and foremost is mission accomplishment. To make sure that we are protecting the city, protecting the community, and taking care of our members. Second is troop welfare. But if we take care of our troops and we take care of our people, they'll make sure the mission gets accomplished. Well, as this process has played out, I've certainly had a lot of conversations throughout the department. I've also reached out to other members. One of the jobs that I have with the IAFF is called the Labor Management Alliance, where myself and a few other labor leaders around the country and Canada meet with several members of the IFC, and we go out and we teach seminars about labor management relationships, teaching leadership to chiefs and to unions. So I've had a lot of input from them. The support, unless they're lying to me, has been very good from the membership. They are excited, and I hope that I do continue to have that support. And like I said earlier, I plan to keep earning it. August 1st. August 1st. So it's outstanding that we have some time for some transition. He can tell me where the light switches are.
Well, thank you all again very much. And just finally, I know this is not the final time I will say this, but again, publicly want to thank Chief Frederick for your amazing public service to the Louisville Fire Department and